Wait a minute. No Eric Kendricks on the list? Come on now. Well, like Daniil Hunter yesterday, Kendricks was found on the honorable mentions category, with one AFC coach saying, quote, Kendricks is known for his pass coverage, but finished 2021 with a career-high 5 sacks. Still really good. But there have been other guys who have kind of passed him up somewhat. He's probably somewhere high in that second tier of guys. Vikings fans will tell you, Reggie, Kendricks is as solid as they come, and he's been a consistent piece in this Vikings defense ever since he was brought in 2015. Rangy in pass coverage, which you got to love, because in a pass-driven league, you got to have linebackers that can cover, but still doesn't crack the top 10 here and get that exposure fans think he should get. The list kind of proves, I guess, what we've always known, that Kendricks, although solid, isn't considered one of the best linebackers in football, according to the experts.
And I think that's a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I watched him almost all the games last year. I watched him in person. And the dude is just as solid as they come, just consistent. Some of his off-ball skills are incredible. You know, the one-hand interception, he had like 2 of them last season. Yeah, like, what are you watching, Jeremy Fowler, that you put – I'm looking at this list, and it's like, okay, like, you know, got some household names on here. But then, you know, you got Bobby Wagner on here. Yeah. And look, no slouch. 8-time Pro Bowler, 6-time All-Pro. I think he got on here just more so out of name recognition alone, because I think that Eric Kendricks outplayed him last year. You got Levante David on here. He missed 5 games. He missed 5 games. Kendricks played almost all of them. And you mean to tell me that Kendricks doesn't get on this top 10, but Levante David does? And then this number 10, Jordan Brooks, I've never even heard of this dude.
Yeah, that was a tough one for me.
Who is that?
That was a tough one, man.
You mean to tell me that Kendricks doesn't get in at number 10 over this Jordan Brooks guy? Like, I don't even know who he is, and maybe that's my fault for not following close enough. But I like to consider myself an NFL guy, and I'm pretty, knowledgeable on all the teams, but I've never heard of this guy. And like I said, watching Kendricks, I mean, this thing says Kendricks is known for his pass coverage, finished with a career-high 5 sacks, as you said. Still really good, but there have been other guys who have passed him up somewhat, an AFC scout said. An AFC scout said that. You're not even in the same conference, dude. What are you watching? Like, why would I trust that, what you said? You're not even in the same conference. You're not even watching him closely. You got other things to look at. I don't know that this person is there's off base, there's on base. I don't know that this dude is even on the field with what he's saying about Eric Kendricks, because that to me just sounds like someone that didn't really watch him last year. And as someone who did, like, I'm very confident at saying this dude is one of the best linebackers in the league. And I don't think that he's outside of the top 10, especially in this category, when you look at some of the plays that he's made and the things that he's still doing on the field when you compare them to some of these other guys on this list. I don't, second tier where? It's only second tier because maybe he doesn't have the household, name recognition as some of the other guys that get a little bit more pub, but like the dude is just a consummate pro and he just gets it done week in and week out. And if you don't realize that, you probably just aren't watching closely enough.
Yeah, it's the body of work, right? I mean, he's been doing this since 2015, plays almost 14, 15 games every single season, and does it week in and week out, like you said. I know most Vikings fans are saying he should be in the top 5, let alone the top 10. Are you kidding me? He can't even crack that top 10. Okay, so here's what's interesting. Of the 10 on the list, plus 8 honorable mentions, so 18 guys in all, only 7 were selected in the first round. And it just tells me you can wait on some of these guys until rounds 2 and 3 and find some serious talent sitting there. Kendricks himself was a second rounder. Same with the number 1 guy on the whole list, Darius Leonard. Fred Warner, a third rounder, along with Demario Davis from the Saints. And instead, use your first-round pick, early picks on what the NFL considers more premium positions on defense, like pass rushers, cornerbacks, guys that affect the passing game in this kind of air-it-out era that we've entered. Any last thoughts, surprises, snubs, notes from the list here, Reggie?
No, I respect the list. You know, they put a lot. I think Jeremy Fowler is someone that I trust his opinion and his football acumen. He's been doing it for a while. Like I said, I just think that it was a miss not having Kendricks on that list. And especially, you asked me about the linebackers. I'm looking here, Pro Football Focus back on June 29th. Top 10 linebacking units in the NFL. Number 1, the 49ers. Number 2, the Colts. Number 3, the Saints. Number 4, the Packers. Number 5, the Minnesota Vikings.
Wow, really getting some love finally. Okay, so
Yeah.
2 of the top 5 teams in the NFC North, Vikings and Packers. Glad
Yep.
PFF's finally shedding a little bit of light on just, again, on paper, the serious talent these 4 linebackers possess.